Hello there, welcome back to my channel where today I'm going to be playing with the Through My Eyes palette between ColourPop and I Love Sarahi. This is a really beautiful palette. I love the color story and I wanted to play especially with this emerald green shade today. So if you want to see how I did this look, then don't go anywhere. I'm also going to be talking about some ideas that I have for new series here on my channel, and I would love you as a viewer to let me know what you think. If you're new to my channel, hey, my name's Rachel. I am a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I love to play with colorful eyeshadow and I typically upload about 3 videos a week, all kinds of colorful eyeshadow related content. If you would like to see lots more colorful content on your timeline, I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing. Alright, I'm going to prime my eyes using the LiQWYD Icing Primer. This is the shade White Frosting. And if you haven't seen it already, I did post a video a while ago doing an eye primer wear test where I was comparing the longevity of my LiQWYD Icing Primer with my original primer, which is the NYX eye base. So if you're interested in seeing that, I will link it above for you in the cards. And really what I did was a super quick look. Like, I filmed the look, but I sped through it. And then I did check-ins throughout the day to show you how the eyes were still looking over time. And then I checked in, I think I had written that it was 14 hours later, but it was actually 16, something like that. Anyway, I checked in a while later and we compared to see how each eye looked with each primer and which primer had won. So I'm going to start today's look using a medium blending brush. When I take the shade Wild Soul, this is a matte yellow, and I've decided I'm going to do a cut crease today. So I'm going to carry this through my crease, starting in the outer corner and then blending it all the way in towards the bridge of the nose, because when you do a cut crease, you want to make sure that you have enough color within the crease that when you cut away from it, you still see the layers of color. You don't want to totally obscure whatever color you've laid in your crease when you place down the concealer, because if you do that, it won't look like a cut crease. So make sure you put a good amount of color in the crease itself, because that way when you cut away, it actually looks different. And in today's video, I want to chat about different ideas that I have, like different theme videos for my channel. I have a running list in my phone, all kinds of ideas for theme videos and new series and palette combinations that I want to put together. And I thought it'd be fun to chat with you guys about what you might like to see, and you can vote and comment below and tell me, you know, what sounds interesting, or nah, I could pass on that, you know? So I have a couple ideas I want to run past you, and I know that my channel is really small, so I don't have a community tab or anything where I could put up comments and get your answers in them. We're not there yet, but I do have Instagram, and I could put polls in the Instagram stories, and if you follow me over there, then you would be able to enter your vote or answer. So let me run a couple of ideas past you guys, and we will go from there. With a smaller blending brush, I'm going into the shade Misbehave, and I'm going to lay this, I'm kind of doing a smoky eye where it starts off light and gets darker and darker down towards the lash line. So I'm going to put this in the crease, but not as high as I placed Wild Soul. And again, make sure that I bring it all the way into the bridge of the nose, the inner corner, so that when I cut away from it, it is distinct. So one of my ideas for like a theme video or a series would be to do a whole week using just one palette. Now, most people do this in the form of like 3 look 1 palette videos, and those are quite popular when a palette is newly launched. Honestly, if I had to choose a style of video which I find the most stressful and the most like extra work and frustration, it would be the multiple look 1 palette videos, because it's just a lot of extra time, and I feel like I'm not uploading videos during that time because I'm busy waiting for the next day to make the next video, because I do not film a look, wash it off, and then film the next look. I know some people do that, but that's not my life right now, and it's not really a viable option for me. I feel like where I am in life right now, that's a bit of a waste of time. I snatch a bit of time in the morning to do my eyes, and then I move on with my day. I'm not taking forever sitting and making new eye looks, and it's just not feasible for my chapter of life, and that's okay. But what that means is that if I want to do a 3 look 1 palette video, that's 3 days of filming, and all ends up with just one video. And I have also discovered that those videos don't do terribly well on my channel. I've done that twice so far at the time of this filming. I am pre-filming, so I'm filming this in June, but it's not going to post until I'm on vacation in like August. But anyway, at the time of this filming, I have done that twice. I did it once with the Love Notes palette from Beauty Bay and once with the Solomone 2 palette from Udenzai. And Solmona 2 did perform a little bit better as far as people who were interested in viewing that video, but it wasn't amazing. And I find those videos to be a lot more stressful with a lot less payoff, so I don't really enjoy doing those. All of that to say, when people do these multiple looks in one palette, they put it all in one video generally. What I'm suggesting is to do a whole week of posts, 3 or 4 posts or whatever it would end up being, using one palette. So that entire week is different videos, but all using the same palette. And I was thinking of calling it, you know, if I use the Hella palette, it'd be Week of Hella, or Week of Play It Jewel, or Week of Through My Eyes. And every video that week would be using the same palette, all different looks. And obviously for these videos, I would choose palettes that had a larger color selection, like nothing too small. But I thought it might be kind of fun to do that, and I want to know what your thoughts are. Now I'm going to take a denser blending brush. I'm going to grab the shade Divina. This is the darkest matte in the palette. It's a beautiful, deep, deep, deep purple shade. And I'm going to place this in the outer corner on the rest of the lid space. I don't want to totally fill my lid because it's going to get cut anyway, and that just adds a lot of extra mess for the concealer to have to deal with. So I know I'm going to cut the inner, I'm going to do a half cut crease. I'm going to cut the inner half, so I'll just put this on the outer half all the way down to the lash line, and then I'm going to bring it up just to touch the crease, but not too high. Now I'm going to cut my crease. I'll take some concealer and just put it on the back of my hand like this. And then I have a small flat blending brush. This is exactly the same brush that I use to do most of my shimmers, only a smaller version. It's just small flat C or shader brush. Did I say blending? It's not a blending brush. And I'm just going to dip into the concealer and cut my crease. Now, I'm not very good at cutting my crease. I'm out of practice because I don't actually do it that much, but I saw someone do it recently, and instead of putting the concealer right on the lid and looking up, she put it way down here at like the base of the lashes, and then looked up. And that gave her a better representation of where her crease was without smearing it everywhere. So that's what I did today. And now I'm just going to follow those lines. Another idea that I have had, maybe I shouldn't do this while I work precisely. I don't know, I'll try. Another idea that I had for a series was to have you as the viewer vote on which palettes you would like me to pair together. I, of course, in my own mind have all these ideas like, oh, hey, this one would look nice with this one. You know, Peridot and Lush Life sort of thing. However, I would like to know what your thoughts are. Like, hey, I would love to see these two palettes paired together. What can you do? And it would be really challenging to get other people's input as far as what I should be doing. I think it would not only be really challenging, but also a lot of fun. And it would really stretch me because I have other people giving me their thoughts on ideas. So you could say, I want to see Limoncello with Hummingbird for Udenzai. And I personally would probably not have thought to pair this together. So I'd be like, okay. And then make a look using those two palettes. With a really fine brush, this is the one that I use for eyeliner. I think I bought it on Amazon. It's just like a paintbrush. I don't know. I'm going to take Missbehave. I might do this with Divina, but I'm going to start with Missbehave, the medium shade that I used. And I'm going to just put it right along the line where I've cut because I want to define it a little bit more. Yeah, that's nice. This is actually a pretty good cut crease. I think that technique of putting the concealer at the lash line and looking up is much more effective for me than putting it on the lid and looking up, because when I put it on the lid, it just tends to smear everywhere. So that's actually looking quite nice. Now it's time for shimmer. I'm going to use 2 different shimmers in this palette. I want to take this Emerald Dream shimmer, which I have never used before, but it looks so pretty. And then I'll lighten it out with something else. I think I'll lighten it out with Lucido. So I'm going to take the shade Emerald Dream on my finger and see how it applies. Generally, ColourPop shimmers apply nicely on the finger, and I will put that right here. I'm not going to go all the way up to the crease because my finger cannot exercise the precision that I need at the actual cut crease. So I'm just laying it down first, and then I'll go in with my regular, larger, flat C shader brush. And this one I'm going to spray because that will help give me more precision as well. So my third idea would be to do flower-inspired eyeshadow looks. You know, take Morning Glory or multicolored tulips or irises or roses, and like find a beautiful picture of a flower online and do that as my eyeshadow look. Use that as my inspiration. I don't know if you saw my video where I used Blake Lively's Met Gala dress as my inspiration. Actually, it was funny because I found other people who did the same thing. Apparently, a lot of people found that dress to be extra inspiring. And so I saw a few other people on Instagram do the same thing where they did an eyeshadow look inspired by the dress. And they were all really pretty and interesting. One person did a super funky avant-garde sort of eyeshadow look with like dripping metallics and stuff. And it was the same color story, just their version and, you know, their personal aesthetic and how they did their makeup. It was pretty. Mine was not avant-garde. Mine was very staid. All right, this is looking lovely. What I just did was I took my the blending brush that I had used for this outer color and I just buffed out where it meets the shimmer. And now I'm going to flip over this brush and use the clean side. I want to grab the shade Lucido. This is a shadow I have used before. And I'm going to put Lucido right here at the inner corner and blend it into the green. So I was thinking doing like a flower inspired series, and that would be something that I could do, like getting your input either in the comments of a previous video or also over on my Instagram page where I could do a little poll and you guys could vote. You know, something like that. With the palette picker, I was thinking, I don't know, if I had to do it in a poll, because I have so few followers, I'm not able to do like a whole community post. If I were to do it in poll, I might need to restrict the amount of palettes that I can add. Like I probably can't write down my entire inventory of palettes and you go, I want these two together, because I don't think it would fit in the space allotted within the Instagram poll feature. But what I could do is, you know, I might be able to fit 5, 6, 7 palettes in there and you guys vote on the 2 that you want. I don't know, something like that. You have to give me your feedback because I do have lots of ideas, but if the viewers are not interested in seeing them, I mean, I can do them myself and it's just as fun, but I don't need to take the time to make videos. If the videos that I'm making are more up your alley than these theme ideas, then I'll just keep making these sorts of videos. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Let me know what you think about these ideas. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear what your feedback is on that. Time to throw something quick on the lower lash line. I'm going to take a much smaller blending brush, grab Wild Soul. I'm going to place this on the outer corner and blend it in towards the inner corner as well. Then with my smudger brush, I'm going to take Missbehave and lay this in the outer corner as well. I'm just basically recreating on the lower lash line what I did on the top. So I'm starting with the yellow and then going a little bit tighter with the mid-toned Missbehave shade. I'm also not bringing this as far in towards the inner corner. I'm just keeping it on the outer area because I personally don't like to have really dark shadows all the way here. I like to keep the dark shadows on the outer half and lighten up the bridge of the nose area with something else. So this is Missbehave. And now I'm going to take the same brush and grab Divina and keep that even tighter, like into the lashes, right out here. And then with my original blending brush, which I used for the yellow shade at the very beginning, I'm just going through and softening everything out. I also realized that I totally forgot to do my eyebrows, so let me do that really quickly right here. I don't do much for my brows, honestly. I like to just fill in a couple of sparser hair areas. And then right up here, I have a bit of a birthmark right here, which I feel like that's developed over time. I don't remember always having that. Although it's never been until I started doing eyeshadow that I ever paid that much attention to my face. So maybe it's always been there and I just didn't notice it. I mean, who looks at their eyebrows that closely? So I like to incorporate that birthmark by making that the arch. So I just put a light line here and then a light line down. And that's it. I do have a glue from NYX. It looks like this, and I bought this off Amazon, and I do actually like it for keeping the eyebrow hairs in place. I don't cut my eyebrow hairs really, really short. I like them to be a little bit longer because they cover space, you know, they cover territory, and I think that they'd be too sparse if I did cut them very short. I also don't brush them straight up like some people do, but I like this glue because it just helps keep them in place, because if you do have slightly longer hairs, sometimes they get a little wild. But there you go. Isn't that better? I just like the slightly more defined arch. Okay, this is the eye look. I actually think it's quite pretty. I know I've seen some other people do this on YouTube when this palette was first launched, like 3 years ago, and I just wanted to do it myself. So I'm going to go off camera, figure out a waterline color, finish everything up, and I'll be back to show you how it turned out. All right, here's how it turned out. For my waterline, I used the shade Extra Frosting from ColourPop's Creme Gel Liner. This is just a light, buttery sort of yellow. On my lips, I've got Hot Spark from ColourPop's lip oils. I really like their lip oils. And then I decided to line my eyes. I have this color called Wine Not also ColourPop, because when I started doing eyeshadow, I bought a lot of ColourPop. ColourPop's liquid liner in the shade Wine Not is sort of a burgundy kind of color, and it's actually really pretty. So that's what I use to line and do my eyeliner, and that is everything. I hope you enjoyed this look. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, please, please comment below and tell me what you think of my ideas as far as new series. I really need your feedback. Otherwise, it's kind of a stab in the dark. Like, I think it's fun, but maybe nobody else will. And I would love to know what you as my viewers think, because you guys are the ones watching. So I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you would like to see lots more content. And until I see you again, I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.